Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 back with another Transformers review. This time we're going to take a look at the Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Blastwave. Now the overall figure is very strange to even see a release to begin with, since one, it looks very Decepticon-like, and since it looks to be maintaining the sculpt that's going to be used at Bludgeon later on, it is still weird to actually see an Autobot repaint at all of this particular figure. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box. The box is in the standard Warrior Class line we've seen up to this point. Unfortunately, the figure suffers from a head change again, and it seems to be a running trend for the Robots in Disguise line. I really don't know what's going on. On the back it says that it transfers at 13 steps, and for those who aren't aware up to this point, it is maintaining the Megatronus mold that we've seen earlier in the line. As a comparison, here is Blastwave with Megatronus. And the overall sculpt is maintaining the standard stuff going on with the figure. Some of the major changes being the shoulder pads have been remolded slightly. He does include a new weapon, and it does have this hole-on back cannon piece, which is not present in the Megatronus mold. So, other than that, it's pretty much the same. Articulation-wise, we're going to see the standard what we've seen with the Megatronus mold. Swivels at the shoulders. Can move in and out, and for what I could tell, it's not really a ball joint. Actually, it looks like a ball joint after all. It's been a while since I looked at it. Yeah, it is a ball joint. Apologize. It does have swivels at the biceps, a single joint at the elbow, but it does not have any points of articulation otherwise there. The head does have a 360 swivel articulation. He has a full 360 waist, which is nice. Ball jointed hips, swivels at the thighs, more than 90 degrees at the knees due to transformation, and that's about it you're going to get. So, now, we're going to move on to the transformation. Transformation itself is pretty standard, and it's pretty close to what we've seen with Megatronus, since it is still maintaining the same sculpt overall. We're going to take out the sword, open up the panel here, and it's best to actually turn the head 360. So we're going to do that now. And then, push it down. So it will collapse inside the area here. So it looks like that. And then you just close it off. Next what we're going to do is swivel these. We're going to actually make sure that we put this in first, thanks to the little pieces here. It'll be a little bit harder to actually put these in. So now we're going to turn these like this. And collapse the arms so it looks like that on both sides. So we got something that looks like this. Next, what we're going to do is take this and plug it in together, and it'll snap into place like that. So we got that going for it. We're going to then open up the panels here on the legs. It's a little tricky, but you do need to kind of move into there. Turn the legs around. Then, what we're going to do is make them flat. And we're actually going to turn this entire thing around since it is out of place. Turn the legs so that they face this direction. Plug them into the sides since they'll form the side of the tank. Pull these panels forward. Then we're going to collapse the entire assembly here. So now we form the treads. Turn this here. And now we got Blastwave in his tank mode. And now Blastwave is in his vehicle mode. Now I realized earlier that I actually mistransformed it since I actually positioned this the wrong position, but it's okay since it is a tank transformer that actually has a fully rotatable turret, and I really like the fact that it's another one of those transformers that actually has a fully functioning turret. Now what's actually cool is that you can actually move the cannon piece if you wish to, since it actually has an articulation point there for vehicle mode and so on. So it's really nice that you can actually go ahead and move the actual barrels. As shown, you can spin this 360, so that's nice. But one thing I don't really like about this mold is that the hands are exposed. That's something that the regular Megatronus mold actually was able to hide, which I guess is not too bad looking, but it is a bit annoying. Another thing is that I actually mistransformed the head, since it's actually supposed to face down like this. Earlier, when I transformed it, it was actually facing up, so that didn't look right. You can actually place his sword weapon into the peg hole that's there. So now you got it armed up with a sword up in front, even though it looks kind of strange. As a comparison, here is Blastwave with Megatronus. So it does have a lot of design cues that we see with Megatronus, but overall, it does have quite a bit of mold differences so that it actually looks different overall. Now, in conclusion, while I actually do like what Blastwave has to offer, it's definitely not a must-get, especially since the Bludgeon repaint is on the way. For what I can tell, unlike Blastwave from Megatronus, Bludgeon seems to be in a direct repaint of this particular mold, which I think will do the mold a lot more justice since it is more of a Bludgeon design rather than whatever is shown on the box, since it is still quite inaccurate to what we see on the box. It's still a really nice figure, and I think the paint is okay, although it looks kind of weird on this particular design. And I guess if you're really just a fan of Autobots or Transformers robots in this guy's toys in general, I say this is kind of an okay figure to get, although it's definitely not a must-get. Anyways, I got this at my local Target, which is about the $17 price, which is still a little high for what I would like to pay for Robots in Disguise figures, but I'd rather actually get this one in store rather than just buying it online personally. So that's why I did it that way. Anyways, please comment and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check out Twitter under Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. And back with more Transformers reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.